प्रभुपाद की जय। नाम संकीर्तन।
Hare Krishna. So you all need a little more air. Is it? No. This is such a beautiful weather, isn't it? The morning was so nice, so beautiful. So we all are feeling same, right? Welcome everyone to Krishna Village Sunday Last List program. It's a great opportunity to associate, chant, hear, serve Lord Krishna, especially with association of senior Vaishnavas. His grace, Bhagavata Sahib Prabhu and Mother Sarvamangala, traveling all the way from Australia. Am I right? You're still in Australia?
Nowhere. We're nowhere.
No, yeah, that's good. One person is traveling, yeah. You know means you're in Delaware.
Now we're in Delaware. We
We're
live
in Delaware, yeah. Thank you so much for coming. We'll be blessed to hear from you. Children, you know, so they are here. There more people might come. Today is also we are. Let's welcome his guest, Bhagavata Sahib Prabhu and Mother Sarvamangala. Now we're chanting Hari Bol. Hari Bol. Hari Bol. And today's program is sponsored by our DJ Prabhu. We had a baby. Hari Bol. Very nice Vaishnava family, very nice servant. So we are dedicating for baby and parents also, father also from here, father and mother. We are expecting more. Today is also, yes. Today is also Boswell's birthday. You know Boswell? 21? Hare Krishna. Please.
Jaya Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari Jaya Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari
Prabhupada, Srila Prabhupada. Jaya Jaya Prabhupada, 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 Jaya Srila Prabhupada. Jai Om Vishnupad Paramahansa Pariraja Kacharya Ashto Tarasata Sri Srimati's Divine Grace A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Maharaj Srila Prabhupada Ki Jai Ananta Kota Vaishnava Vrinda Ki Jai Nitai Gaura Premanandi. All glories to the assembled devotees. All glories to the assembled devotees. All glories to the assembled devotees. All glories to Sri Sri Guru and Gauranga. Hare Krishna. I want to read a verse from the 6th chapter of the Bhagavad Gita, chapter 6, verse 32. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya.
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 Atma upamyena savatra samam pashyati Arjuna. Sukham va yadi va dukkam sa yogi paramo mataha. Translation: He is a perfect yogi who, by comparison to his own self, sees the true equality of all beings in both their happiness and their distress, O Arjuna. It's just a short purport, one paragraph. Very powerful. One who is Krishna conscious is a perfect yogi. He is aware of everyone's happiness and distress by dint of his own personal experience. The cause of the distress of a living entity is forgetfulness of his relationship with God. And the cause of happiness is knowing Krishna to be the supreme enjoyer of all the activities of the human being, the proprietor of all lands and planets, and the sincerest friend of all living entities. The perfect yogi knows that the living being who is conditioned by the modes of material nature is subjected to the threefold material miseries due to his forgetfulness of his relationship with Krishna. And because one in Krishna consciousness is happy, he tries to distribute the knowledge of Krishna everywhere. Since the perfect yogi tries to broadcast the importance of becoming Krishna conscious, he is the best philanthropist in the world, and he is the dearest servitor of the Lord. Nacha tasman manusheshu kaschin me priyakritama. Bhagavad Gita chapter 18, verse 69. In other words, a devotee of the Lord always looks to the welfare of all living entities, and in this way he is factually the friend of everyone. He is the best yogi because he does not desire perfection in yoga for his personal benefit, but tries for others also. He does not envy his fellow living entities. Here is a contrast between a pure devotee of the Lord and a yogi interested only in his personal elevation. The yogi who has withdrawn to a secluded place in order to meditate perfectly may not be as perfect as a devotee who is trying his best to turn every person toward Krishna consciousness. Umagyanati mirandasya gananjana shalakaya chakshurun militam jena tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha. Shri Chaitanya manobhistam stapitam jena bhutale swayam rupa kadamayam dadati swapadantikam. Vandeham Shri Guru Shri Uta Parakamalam Shri Gurun Vaishnavamscha Shri Rupam Sagrajatam Sahagana Raghunatan Vitam Tam Sajivam Sadvaitam Savadutam Parijana Sahitam Krishna Chaitanya Devam Shri Radha Krishna Padan Sahagana Lalita Shri Vishakan Vitanscha. Hey Krishna, Karuna Sindhu, Dina Bandhu, Jagatpate, Gopesha Gopika Kanta, Radha Kanta Namostute, Tapta Kanchana Gourangi, Radhe Brindavaneshwari, Rishabhanu Sute Devi, Pranamami Hari Priye, Vanchakalpa Trubhyascha, Kripasindo Beevacha, Patitanam Pavanebhyo, Vaishnavebhyo, Namo Namaha. Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhar Shivasadi Gaura Bhaktavrinda. Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare. Nama Om Vishnu Padaya Krishna Prashtaya Bhutale Srimate Bhaktivedanta Swami Niti Namine. Namaste Saraswati Deve Gauravani Pracharine Nirvishesha Sunyavadi Paschachade Shatarine. Mukam Karoti Vachalam Pangum Lagayate Girim Jat Kripa Tamaham Vande Shri Gurun Dinatarinam. Can I get a glass of water, please? So there are many different yogas, very different practices of yoga. This Bhagavad Gita is considered the ultimate instruction on yoga. In the first 6 chapters of the Bhagavad Gita, Krishna describes many different practices of yoga. But he comes to a conclusion, actually this is his conclusion, but what follows this is a little question and answer period between Arjuna and Krishna. And Krishna comes back and reinforces this statement very strongly in the last 2 verses of this chapter. I'd like to also read them just for reference as we talk. Arjuna asks the questions about, well, first of all, he rejects the yoga that Krishna has offered in the 6th chapter, saying, I can't do this. It's too difficult. And Krishna agrees. He says, yes, well, it is. But it's possible by detachment and proper practice. Of course, he hasn't really described the proper practice yet. That comes in the middle 6 chapters of Bhagavad Gita. So then Arjuna says, well, what happens to somebody who takes up yoga practice and doesn't complete the course? And then Krishna gives his answers to those questions. But then his conclusion in verse 46 and 47 is that in 46 he says, a yogi is greater than the ascetic, greater than the empiricist, and greater than the fruitive worker. So these are 4 categories we have now here: the yogi, the ascetic, the empiricist, and the fruitive worker. That basically covers the full gamut of human activity in any era or any age. And then Krishna makes the astounding conclusion that in the face of all this, he says, therefore, O Arjuna, in all circumstances, be a yogi. So that's pretty radical proposition to be making to people in the 21st century. But that's what we're doing. And then Krishna gives his conclusion, beautiful verse. Yoginam apisavisham madgaten antaratmana shradhavan bhajate yomam same yuktatamo mataha. And of all yogis, the one with great faith who always abides in me, thinks of me within himself, and renders transcendental loving service to me. He is the most intimately united with me in yoga and is the highest of all. That is my opinion. So here we have in the first 6 chapters of Bhagavad Gita, a complete expose on the philosophy of yoga as an activity for the human being. And Krishna's conclusion is, above all things, be a yogi. And the greatest yogi of all is the bhakta, the bhakti yogi. Srila Prabhupada has a number of small books, Krishna Consciousness, the topmost yoga system, the perfection of yoga, the path of perfection, all talking about the practice of bhakti yoga. And part and parcel of being a bhakti yogi is this verse that I started with today. He is a perfect yogi who, by virtue of his own experience, by comparison with his own self, sees the equality of all beings in both their happiness and their distress, O Arjuna. In the purport here, Prabhupada makes this very strong point that the reason we undergo the dualities of material existence, myriad dualities, happiness and distress, basically covers it all, but within happiness there's all kinds of considerations, and within distress there's all kinds of considerations. But the basic situation of our living in the material world is sometimes happiness, sometimes distress. Sometimes you're up, sometimes you're down. You go to an astrologer and he'll say, well, you're going to have a period where you're going to have really good fortune. Things are going to go very well for you. But then at a certain point now, there's another planet going to come in and things are going to go down for you. But don't worry, because they'll come up again later. And basically, that's the situation of material life. Sometimes you're up, sometimes you're down. That's life. As Frank Sinatra says, that's life. We're going to talk a little bit more about that in the Japa retreat. We'll skip that for now. Happiness and distress, this duality comes in the material world because we've become overcome by the delusion that we are these bodies. And as a result of that, we are under the influence of the 3 modes of the material nature. The whole material creation, guna, devi yesha gunamayi, this material creation is working under the control of the 3 modes of material nature. There's a lot of conjecture in Vaishnava circles about the fall of the jiva, or the so-called fall of the jiva. There's we won't go too much into that, but we enter the material world in the first place as a choice. We exercise our independence and come to the material world. Then we fall under the influence of the modes of material nature. That is the fall of the jiva. I once had one young devotee came up to me after class, and I'd been talking about this, and he said, he was Irish, and he said, well, don't you think that maybe we were just tumbling around with Krishna and we kind of fell into the material world? And I said, but these are states of consciousness that are brought about by the influence of the modes of material nature, overcome by the dualities of desire and hatred. And one thing which we desire in one circumstance is something that we come to hate in another circumstance. The same thing. Therefore, Krishna says right at the beginning of the Bhagavad Gita, when he makes it clear that, well, don't worry, Arjuna, we're all eternal souls, we're all eternal beings, we're just passing through here. We're just passing through. Dehino shvinyata dehe komaram yovanam jara tata dehantara praptiya dhiras tatra namuyati. Just passing through childhood, youth, old age, and then passing into another body at death. Self-realized soul is not bewildered by such a change. And then he says, immediately, matras bashas tukuntaya shitoshna tukadukada agama payano nijas tangstatikshas that the dualities of the world, the happiness and the distress, the non-permanent appearance and disappearance of happiness and distress is like the non-permanent appearance and disappearance of winter and summer seasons. You can't avoid these things in the material world. And there he says, you have to learn to tolerate these things without becoming disturbed by them, because they are going to happen. There's nothing you can do about it. Nothing. Oh, this is part and parcel of becoming a yogi. Actually, it's also a basic principle of Stoic philosophy. Stoicism is actually a form of yoga. A form of yoga of how to deal with the dualities of material life with the understanding that you're just passing through. So just passing through, so where are we going? The fundamental problem is that we're born into delusion, overcome by these dualities. And as a result of that, we don't know where we've come from, we don't know why we're here, and we don't know where we're going. Very unpleasant situation if you actually contemplate it. I give the example of, say you get on a train and you're going on a journey. You get on the train at your station. Quite often when you go on trains, you sit down next to somebody and you strike up a little conversation. So there's somebody sitting there, you sit next to them, and after a little while you say, where are you coming from? Now, if that person's sitting there before you got on the train, and then you sit down and say, where are you coming from? And they say, I don't know. Immediately you're going to think this is a little strange. And then you ask, well, where are you going? Or rather, what are you doing here then? And they say, well, I don't know. So we got two very strange responses. So then you ask, well, where are you going? And the third thing is, well, I don't know. So you meet someone like this just on a simple train journey, and they answer those questions with, I don't know, or I don't know, or I don't know. You're going to think this is pretty strange. this is a strange person. But actually, we're all that strange person in this life. Born into ignorance, not knowing where we've come from, not knowing why we're here, and not knowing where we go after death. And unfortunately, the so-called education system doesn't give us a clue about any of these things in a factual, realizable way, scientific way. We don't get that. And that is described by Srila Prabhupada in the Bhagavad Gita as a form of violence, because actually the only purpose of the human form of life is to make spiritual progress into spiritual consciousness. Consciousness, that's really the clue. That's really the clue. That we are conscious living beings, and we can become conscious of spiritual things, or we become covered by material things and forgetfulness of our spiritual nature. Forgetfulness is a terrible thing. Terrible, terrible thing. Just as you get older, especially, and you start to realize, what do they call it? You're entering cognitive decline. I think that's what it is anyway. Cognitive decline. Basically, you start forgetting all kinds of things that normally you would remember. Now there's a lot of science going on in regard to that now, working out how this happens and introducing all kinds of protocols that you can have in your life to reverse that. And there are quite stunning results happening as a result of that, because due to contamination from so many things, the organism of the brain becomes depleted and diminished. But it can be reversed to a large extent. So our forgetfulness of Krishna can be reversed. We are forgetful of Krishna. I think I've said this here before, but I repeat it a lot, that it's a very good understanding to have that you can't forget something you don't know. You can't remember or forget something you don't know. Forgetfulness and remembrance are predicated on knowledge. And we all know Krishna. Actually, the relationship with Krishna, as Prabhupada says many times, is intimate relationship. Every single living being has an intimate relationship with Krishna. This is one of Krishna's most exultant qualities, that if you think about how many intimate relationships you can have at once or in a lifetime, it's not very many. But Krishna is unlimitedly able to have intimate relationships, and there are unlimited living entities. You can never get to the point where you say, well, we've counted them all. And Krishna is as Prabhupada quotes in this verse, the 29th verse of the 5th chapter, where he says Krishna is the enjoyer of all the activities of the human being, the proprietor of all lands and planets, and the sincerest friend of all living entities. This is very, very good information to have, and very good information to act on. The dearmost friend of all living entities, Surit Satam. Surit Satam means nearest to the heart, nearest and dearest to the heart. And we have been on a very troubled journey in this material world, in a state of forgetfulness of this. And in our forgetfulness of this intimate relationship with Krishna, we're looking for loving intimacy in so many different situations, all of them temporary. and therefore all of them ultimately sources of misery. Krishna defines the material world as dukkhalayam ashashvatam. It is a place full of miseries, and it is temporary. Probably temporaneousness is probably the worst misery, because everyone's looking for permanency. Everybody wants forever. Everybody wants love and happiness and intimacy in relationships forever. You don't want it to end, but it does. No matter what you establish in this material world, it ends. And the simple fact is we don't know where, we don't know when, we don't know how it's going to end. And the most wonderful thing, Yudhishthira, in answer to Dharmaraj, when he's asked what's the most wonderful thing in this world, he says, the most wonderful thing in this world is that a person will see, my father has died, his father before him has died, his father before him has died, maybe even my own son has died, but I think I won't die. This is delusion, born into delusion in the material world. We're not living a real life here. This is not our real life. If you think, Prabhupada, Krishna says, the self-realized soul is not bewildered by the changes of the body. Realization, the eyes, that is a word-ending syllable that activates a noun. So, real, realize. We're in an unreal state. We have to come to the real state. That is realization. Realization of what I actually am. So first of all, Krishna makes it clear, you're an eternal living being. You've never been born. You'll never die. So then what am I supposed to do? What am I supposed to be doing? Because I have to do something. I'm the active principle in this body. I'm active and I have desires. I want things. But I've been living in the material world since time immemorial, pursuing material desires. And those material desires always lead to misery. Pursuit of those material desires, even if I get what I want, or I get what I think it is that I want, I can't keep it. And even when I get it, I realize actually this is not really what I want. Did I tell a story here about the first lead singer of AC/DC? Huh? Oh, this is a great story. This he was a tragic case, actually. He became the lead singer of AC/DC, and they became this huge phenomenon in the world, and he became very wealthy and famous. But he died in tragic circumstances. So in Australia, they have on the ABC, they have a program called Australian Story, where they do like a biography of different Australians, some famous, some just everyday people. So they did this story on this fellow. And throughout the story, they kept coming back to an interview with the person who actually introduced him into the music business. This guy had a band, and this kid came along and he taught him how to be a frontman for a rock and roll band. And then eventually he became the lead singer of AC/DC. And he said he climbed the mountain of rock and roll, looking for the holy grail of rock and roll. And they had that song, it's a long way to the top if you want to rock and roll. But then he said, he got there and he found it was just another empty cup. And he never got over that. And from there, well, you get to the top, whatever it is, you get to the top, and it's not what you thought it was. Well, where do you go from there? Where do you go from there? Usually it's, in this age, drugs, sex, and rock and roll. Because this is a scourge, because all material facility is there, especially in the Western world. It's all there. We don't have, you go back 150 years, life was hard. Life was hard. There was no running water in houses. There was no sanitation in houses. There was no electricity. Just take electricity out of the equation of this world. No, everything had stopped. Everything had stopped. But we have this experience. You flick a switch, the light goes on. It's all there. So this is as a result of economic development, which is as a result of great piety amongst the people in the past. So there's a process called dharma, artha, karma, moksha. This is actually a natural process in the life of the human being. Firstly, there's dharma. Prabhupada describes dharma as religion, but you can get this introduction to Bhagavad Gita, this little book here. In that introduction to Bhagavad Gita, he goes to great pains to explain that dharma doesn't actually mean your religion. Dharma comes from the word, the Sanskrit root dri, which means to hold. And then you get dharma, dari, like Venudara. Krishna is Venudara, he holds the flute. In the first chapter of the Bhagavad Gita, Shonaka Rishi describes Sutta Goswami as Karnadara, the captain of the ship. Karna means the ear, so the holder of the ear. So dharma is what holds things in place. Those dharmas that are concocted by human beings ultimately fail, and things are always falling apart, and there has to be a revolution, usually a very nasty situation. But the dharma that comes for human life enables there to be prosperity in human society. And then in that prosperous state, we want sense gratification. And there's regulative principles for sense gratification also. Not that sense gratification is whatever you feel like doing. You can gratify your senses according to dharmic principles. And naturally, as our life progresses and we go through different stages of life, different things awaken. Different things awaken within us. Different desires awaken within us. And as we go through dharma, artha, karma, then because ultimately material dharma, material economic development, and material sense gratification don't satisfy the soul, then there's a desire, well, there's got to be more. There's got to be a way of getting to a higher state. Get out of this. But the material world is designed in such a way that without proper knowledge, as the saying goes, as the line goes, you can check out any time you like, but you can never leave. The only way you can actually get out of the entanglement of this material existence is by coming in contact with the lotus feet of a pure devotee of the Lord. And the rarity of that is inconceivable. The example is given that you take the entire expanse of the Pacific Ocean, the entire two-dimensional surface of the Pacific Ocean, and just imagine that somewhere way out in the middle of that ocean, a turtle is coming up to get a breath of air. And just at the moment that the turtle's head breaks the surface, he puts his head through a knothole just big enough for his head. A knothole in a piece of driftwood. I was talking with Bhuvana Sundara. Yes? And I said, well, you're a mathematician, work that out. What's the equation? What's the probability of that? Very rare. Just the rarity of something like that happening is incalculable. But we've been adrift in the ocean of material existence since time immemorial, coming up for air and going under again countless times. Countless times. A troubled journey in the material world. Troubled journey. Trouble everywhere. Trouble everywhere. That's one good thing about traveling. You realize there's trouble everywhere. Trouble. The word travel comes from travail. Means trouble. So just traveling around. There's trouble. Everywhere you go, you meet trouble. But then you see, people are troubled everywhere. And then you look back in history. I remember when I was studying English, there's a poem by William Blake. It's called London. He says the first stanza of the poem is, as I wander through each charted street, near where the charted Thames doth flow, I mark in every face I meet marks of weakness, marks of woe. So this is going on, and it's been going on for all of us since time immemorial. Time immemorial. And so long as we have a desire to be here and try to find some happiness in the material world, some lasting happiness in the material world, then we stay. We stay entangled in the repetition of birth and death over and over again through countless lifetimes, through 8,400,000 species of life over and over and over again, through countless creations over and over and over and over again. And it's endless. You can't get out. You can check out any time you like. You can check out to the heavenly planets. You can check out to the animal species. You can check out to hell. You can check out to another life here. You can live in another country under another name. You can do all kinds of checkouts, but you're still in the material world. You're still in the material world. Even though you're thinking, oh, I'm getting out of this. But as they say, you're out of the frying pan into the fire. Then you jump back into the frying pan. Then you jump back into the fire. And on it goes, endlessly happening. And there's no material way of settling this. Guna means bound up. Bound up. So if you're bound up, unless you're Houdini, you can't get out. You're bound up hand and foot until someone comes who can unbind you. And that happens very, very rarely in our sojourn in the material world. We may practice all kinds of yoga for all kinds of material ends. we will come in contact with a pure devotee of the Lord, an actual bhakti yogi. Very, very rarely. This is very rarely seen in the material world. Because nobody wants it. Material world's like a huge amusement park where you can satisfy all kinds of desires. So this genuine desire to get out of this, to as they say, you wake up in your dream and you see, what am I doing here? Why am I struggling so hard to satisfy my desires? But I'm always meeting with frustration and loss. Even though I may be getting so many desires fulfilled, finally, and I think, well, I'm getting my desires fulfilled. I know there's trouble in the world. I know there's all kinds of difficulties. I know I have to go through some difficulties. But you've got to take the good with the bad. And there's a lot of good things in my life, so I'll stay here. Well, no, sir. No, sir. There's a knock on the door, and there's death, and you've got to go. You can't make a deal. We got the great deal maker. So you make a deal with death. You can't make a deal with death. Have I told the story of the merchant of Baghdad? Yes, this is a story about death. Where the merchant of Baghdad, very wealthy, one early morning he sends his personal servant to the marketplace to get some household things that he wants. And within a very short time, his servant comes back and he's looking terrified. He's shaking in terror. And he says, what's the matter? He says, I was walking through the marketplace and I came face to face with death walking through the crowd. And he looked me directly in the eye. I know he's here to get me. What do I do? What do I do? So the merchant thinks for a minute. He says, look, you take the fastest horse in the stables and you ride to Samara. You'll be there by afternoon. You go to my brother's house and take shelter there. You'll be safe there. So off this happens, off he goes. And then the merchant's sitting there and he's thinking, well, I've lost my personal servant. I've lost my best horse. And I haven't got what I needed from the market. So he's a little annoyed, to say the least. Like a person who's used to having it his own way. He's annoyed. This is a disturbance. So I'll have to go and do it myself. So he goes down to the market and he's walking around buying what he wants. And then ahead of him through the crowd, he sees death moving around. And he gets really angry. So he goes up and he confronts death. And he says, what do you think you're doing? You completely disturbed my household. My servant is in total terror now. Death is standing there, very calm, just looking at him. And he says, yes, actually, I was just as surprised to see him here this morning because I have an appointment with him this afternoon in Samara. But I'm not so surprised to see you because I have an appointment with you here and now. And there you have it. When death comes, that's it. You have to go. So let's go back to our little man on the train. Where are you going? Well, I don't know. No, we're all here temporarily. We've all come here today. This is going to be over. So where are you going to go? Where are you going to go afterwards? After this? Sorry? Home. We all want to go home, don't we? Especially after the last 24 hours. We want to go home. It's been a tough 24 hours. Thinking about going home, go to bed, get some rest, or just chill out, close the door. I'm home. Yeah. Leave all your troubles at the door and just enter your little sanctum Hmm? Then the boiler blows up. And then the water pipes burst or something. Or then a tornado comes and blows it away. But we want to go home. We want to have that security. We want to have that sense that there's a home for me. There was a famous singer here during the Depression called Woody Guthrie. And during the Depression, there were a lot of people just rootless around the country looking for work, hobos. And he was one of them. And he wrote a song called I Don't Have No Home in This Land Anymore. It was a lament that he'd lost everything. I don't have no home in this land anymore. But when you think about it, who has? Who's got a home? Who's got a home that you can say, this is mine? Nobody can take it away from me. This is where I'll come. This is where I'll find shelter and happiness. Home, sweet home. Not available in this world. So Krishna is the dearmost friend of every living entity. So he's our constant companion in this world. A lot of people react to that thinking, "Oh, you mean I'm under surveillance?" Well, no, we're not under surveillance. We have a chaperone. We have a chaperone. Krishna says, I'm situated within the heart of every living entity and I am directing their wanderings. How is he directing our wanderings? He's directing our wanderings according to our desires. He never interferes with our independence. If he did, there'd be no meaning to independence. Independence means you can do whatever you like. And that you can do whatever you like is always there. Always there. You can do whatever you like. But pretty soon you learn in this world there's consequences to your activities. But whatever you want, Krishna will arrange it for you according to what you are eligible for, the state of your karmic ledger. You might want a Corolla, or you might want a Lexus, but you can only afford a Corolla. That's the balance of your ledger. But the desire is there. Even you're buzzing around in your Corolla, you're still looking, wow, there's a Lexus, I really want one of them. But then the next model comes out, and then you want that. And on it goes. On and on it goes. So Krishna is observing everything in this way in our hearts. Prabhupada explains, he's so close to us, it's just like, Prabhupada says, you can smell the flavor of a flower by being near it. Krishna knows our every desire. So that's why we're all here, actually. Because the desire arose in the heart. There's got to be some way out of this. There's got to be something other than this. That I'm born, I struggle, and I die. And then with a little knowledge we can understand, all right, you're not the body, you are a spiritual being, but still you're entangled in this. And you want out, but you don't know what out really looks like. But when Krishna sees that desire is constant or becomes a constant thing in your heart, and you're sincere, you're serious and you're sincere, then he satisfies that desire and brings you in contact with a pure devotee of the Lord. Then you have to make a choice. Firstly, there's desire, then there's decision. You have to make a decision. What are you going to do? What are you going to do? What are you going to do with this Krishna consciousness? You're going to have a little smorgasbord dip of a few things here and there, Are you going to have some Krishna consciousness in your life, but not too much, just enough so that things aren't so difficult anymore? Or are you going to come to the point where you make the decision, I'm not just going to have Krishna consciousness in my life. I'm going to have my life in Krishna consciousness. Totally. I'm going to live. I'm not going to live in Maya anymore. I'm not going to live in hankering and lamenting for material things anymore. I'm going to live in Krishna. And believe it or not, God's got a life. And He wants us back in His life. Because this Krishna consciousness movement, this Bhagavad Gita, this Srimad Bhagavatam, these temples, these pure devotees of the Lord, they're all here by the will of the Lord. Krishna wants you. Prabhupada says many, many times, Krishna is very much anxious for you to come back to Him. Very much anxious. So there has to be a decision. Then there has to be a determination. Because Vishaya vinivatante niraharasya dehina rasapyasyam rasopyasya param drishtva nivatate. Krishna explains how you can understand transcendence in this way. That although as embodied living beings we may be restricted in sense enjoyment, that means whether we actually voluntarily follow regulative principles or whether we do whatever we like. You're still restricted. You want the Lexus, but you can't afford it. So we're restricted. But the taste for sense objects doesn't vanish immediately. It doesn't go away. This is not abracadabra, you're cured. It's not like that. It takes time to recover from the foreign atmosphere. So therefore, the second half of that verse is very important. But's a pivot. That may be where we're going this way now. But ceasing such engagements by experiencing a higher taste, one becomes fixed in consciousness. But a little earlier, Krishna says, Bhogashvaya prashaktanam taya parita chetasam vyavisa yapmika buddhiya samadhau na vidhiyate. That in the minds and the hearts of those who are too much attached to sense gratification in this world and material opulence, the resolute determination to engage in this bhakti yoga, this devotional service, doesn't take place. So there's desire, then there's decision, then there must be determination. Termination. D is there, desire, decision, determination. Desire. Desire means from a star. You cannot satisfy any of your desires on your own. You need the help of others, usually somebody more influential or more opulent than you, ultimately God. Then decision, scission, incision, excision, cut. Decision means you cut away. There's all kinds of options, but you choose. I'm going to take this path. Then determination. Termination means the end of something. So I'm not going to look back. I'm not going to look back. And from that line of determination, then I go forward. But if we're too much attached to sense gratification and material opulence, which we all are, if we're honest, too much attached, you don't end up in the Kali Yuga if you're a detached person. you end up in the Kali Yuga because of your attachment to material things. So it's spongy to start with. There's determination, but then there's temptation. And Oscar Wilde said, I can resist anything except temptation. And on the path of, on any path, you're going to be tempted to take the easy way out. So there has to be a strong desire, a strong decision, and a strong determination. We're very fortunate in that we have a society of devotees. One of the reasons Arjuna rejects this system of yoga that Krishna describes in the 6th chapter is because you have to do it on your own, in an isolated, secluded place. But Krishna consciousness is a communal activity, a social activity, a familial activity, a friendly activity. And this is the wonderful thing that Srila Prabhupada has done. It's established an international society of devotees of Krishna. Unheard of in the history of the world. An international society of Krishna conscious people. So take advantage of it, everyone. Take advantage and enter this society. And you enter the society of devotees firstly by hearing about it, hearing about Krishna. But eventually you have to give something to Krishna. And when you think, well, what have I got to give Krishna? When I understand that everything belongs to Krishna, what am I going to give? Well, what is Krishna missing? You. He's missing you. Because the essence of our relationship with Krishna, the essence of all relationships, is love, degrees of love. And Srila Prabhupada explains in this Bhagavad Gita, you can read for yourself at the end of the 8th chapter. He says that by study of this Bhagavad Gita in the association of devotees, eventually you fall in love with Krishna. Or rather, your dormant love for Krishna will become fully reawakened. But it takes time, it takes practice, it takes continuous desire, decision-making, and determination. And it's very difficult to maintain those things in isolation. Like-minded people are there to help us, because there will be rough times. There will be rough times. That's life. We're still in the material world. The material world doesn't stop being the material world just because we decide, I'm going to get out of here. It actually, the material world becomes more the material world when you make that decision and you start heading for the exit door. All kinds of obstacles will come in your path. All kinds of pushback from Maya will be there. But they're the times when you have to double down. Double down. And the best way is in the association of devotees. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Any questions or any comments?
Any comments?
Okay. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. It's a very deep and very thoughtful session, which is just Bhagavata Simple presented it. And even if you take one word from it, it's enough for a beginning of self-realization. And I liked one thing as comment is asking, said, every time I was wondering, why devotional service is so rare? So many living entities all over in different spaces we see it. And you give the analogy like, what is the statistic? It's statistics. What is the probability of, I don't need that one. What is the probability of a turtle putting his head in a tire or something in the Atlantic Ocean? So
Pacific.
Pacific Ocean.
Bigger than the
Yeah, bigger than the Pacific Ocean. Is bigger than that. It's connected to California, probably. So it's it is fact actually. It's very, very fact. But at the end of the day, we don't want to stay here. And even if you want to stay here, but we said, get out of here. It isn't anywhere. At a home or parents' home or job, especially nowadays the job, AI is knocking the door for IT people mostly. So it is the reality of life. It's good that we invest a little bit in this time, asking what it is, what is there for me, how can I get, what can I get, how can I get a permanent solution to all my problems. That's what I got. And regularly, it's not going to be an easy journey, but in association of the devotees with patience and tolerance, we'll be able to cross over this nescience existence of material world. It's patience. So take it, please read it. Books are there. Our devotees, so many devotees are practicing. Ask questions, discuss among yourself, and share with others. That's if you share with others, you will also get it. You'll also stay in the movement. Mutual benefit. Let's thank His Grace Bhagavata Sutta for loudly chanting Haribol.
Haribol! Haribol! Haribol!
Thank you so much. We're very grateful. I think that traveling has run us to different places, and we will continue to see more Delaware and again. We will be offering Arti now. The ladies can stand that side, gents this side, and then we will celebrate a little more. Hare Krishna. Shri Prabhupada ki jai. Who's leading?
I'll start and I'll give it to Guru.
No, Gaurav. You can lead, but then people will give him later.
Okay. He doesn't want to lead? No, I tried really hard. He said he likes sitting. He likes the harmony. All right. Can I get the other stand? I guess it's fine. It's fine. Hey, Diva, take it. Okay. Oh, you gotta move back though for a second.
Srila Prabhupada ki.
I tried to get far.
Namo Vishnu Padaya Krishna Prastaya Bhutale Srimate Bhakti Vedanta Swami Niti Namine Namaste Saraswati Deve Gauravani Pracharine Nirvishesha Shunyavadi
Ashtya Desha Tarine Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhar Shivasadi Gaura Bhakta Vrinda Jaya Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhar Shivasadi Gaura Bhakta Vrinda Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Jaya Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhar Shivasadi Gaura Bhakta Vrinda Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Hare Hare, Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna. Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Krishna, Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare Krishna, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Krishna. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama. Come on! Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Oh, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Hare Hare. Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Jai Nande. जय ओम विष्णुपाद परमहंस परिव्राजकाचार्य अष्टोत्तर शत श्रीमान के सब चरणारविंद भक्ति वेदांत स्वामी शिल प्रभुपाद की शिल प्रभुपाद की जय ओम विष्णुपाद परमहंस परिव्राजकाचार्य अष्टोत्तर शत श्रीमान के श्री भक्ति सिद्धांत सरस्वती गोस्वामी ठाकुर महाराज की जय अनंत कोटि वैष्णव वृंद की इस्कॉन फाउंडर आचार्य श्री प्रभुपाद की नामाचार्य श्री हरिदास ठाकुर की प्रेम से को जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर शिवसादि गौर भक्त वृंद की श्री राधा कृष्ण गोपोपना श्याम कुंड राधा कुंड गिरि गोवर्धन की मथुरा वृंदावन धाम की नवदीप मायापुर धाम की पुरुषोत्तम क्षेत्र जगन्नाथपुरी धाम की इस्कॉन डेलावेयर की जय श्री राधा श्याम सुंदर की जय श्री जगन्नाथ बलदेव सुभद्रा महारानी की श्री पंच तत्व की भक्ति देवी तुलसी महारानी की समवेत गौर भक्त वृंद की ऑल ग्लोरीज टू सिमर डिवोटीज ऑल ग्लोरीज टू सिमर डिवोटीज all glories to Simmer devotees, all glories to Sri Guru and Sri Gauranga, Hari Hari Bol. Hare Krishna. You can kindly move forward, please. I want to welcome everyone on this Sunday Love Feast program. I'm very grateful to all of you. And all the children have been practicing Kirtan also. Very nice. Please have a seat. We will chant Narsinga prayer, followed by also cutting the cake, and prasadam will be served outside. Anyone first time here today? Please raise your hand. First time? You came first time. Who else first time? Okay. Let's welcome them, all of them. 1, 2, 3. Hari Bol, Hari Bol, Hari Bol. Is Balram Sikh who is leading Narsinga prayer? Yeah. Well.
Thank you all so much for coming to ISKCON Delaware Sunday Feast. I have a couple announcements before Krishna Kirtan does the birthday celebrations. Sarva Mangala and Bhagavad Ashraya will be in Delaware for the next month. We're so fortunate to have extended association with them. So there are many, many programs all throughout the month. Multiple programs a week, several programs a week. This Tuesday, we're going to do Harinam, sitting Harinam on the Ocean City, Maryland boardwalk. Weather permitting, I haven't checked the weather, but the plan is to leave Milton in the van at 9 a.m. So if you'd like, you can meet us in Milton and hop in the van. We'll drive to Ocean City, Maryland. We'll do a few hours of Harinam, eat Thrasher's French fries, and come back. Then on Saturday, well, Thursday, they'll be at the home program in Milton, Delaware, 6 p.m. to 8 p.m., followed by Prashadam. You're all cordially invited. Please come. And then Saturday, we have our Maha Harinam on the Rehoboth Boardwalk. So if you'd like to meet us in Milton and ride in the van, you can, or you can meet us directly at the boardwalk. We'll meet at 1 Norfolk Street. And I forget the time, because I think we leave Milton at 6, and then Harinam starts at 6:45. And we'll end with Thrasher's afterwards. And then we'll be back here on Sunday. And then I'll save the rest. Oh, one more now. We have the Japa retreat, which is Saturday, August 29th. So this Saturday is the Rehoboth Boardwalk Harinam. Following Saturday is the Japa retreat. It will be setting up about 9 a.m. It will start sharp 10 a.m. There'll be kirtan, discussion, some Japa, lunch prashadam, and then playtime on the beach, 2 hours to splash around, community time, association, fun on the beach. And then we'll have another afternoon session.
She wanted to sing.
Sarva Mangala is a trained art therapist. She's going to lead us in an art therapy exercise to explore our japa more deeply through that medium. And discussion, japa, kirtan, dinner prashadam feast. So full day immersion experience. It's one of our biggest community events for the Sodel Sangha of the year. There's a registration form online that has all the details, the itinerary, information about locations at Kingdom Open State Park in Lewis, Delaware. And since it's a Saturday, you'll have to plan for some traffic, but hope y'all can come take advantage of a full day immersion experience, talking about our personal mantra meditation practice. Please join. Let me know if you have any questions. Thank you so much. Without further ado.
Thank you. Hope you all memorized everything. Right? You can have the quiz, static. What are the seven and I said, what is the Japanese?
Yeah, we have to.
Hey, everyone!
Your mom put them in the
And you get the first free seat.
Yeah, it's donation based.
Free seat by donation. Hare Krishna. Thank you so much for being here. We'll be finishing very shortly this week. Another seat program we have. Visible seat, where is it?
No, that's design.
Where is
Design.
We are coming to know. Vijay Ruben Sri Mataji has been blessed with baby girl. Daya.
It's the design.
It's another girl. There is 2 boys and 1 girl. Then we are expecting a few more also. So let's pray for them. Hare Krishna, please come. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Rama, very nice family. So with all of the blessings, maybe let devotees family grow. Thank you, Congrats.
congratulations. I want to thank his parents also all the time coming and serving. Very, very grateful.
I'm Basu.
One more. I really want to recognize few devotees who helped us in last weekend, Friday, Saturday, by doing wonderful service and food for devotee wedding, and a lot of efforts have been put. I would recognize here Mr. Rahul Agrawal. Haribol! Nidhi Agrawal.
Hi,
Nidhi Agrawal, right? Okay, I'm checking. His wife, I won't make the same last time. Big Haribol.
I wish I could come. My flight landed today at 3.
Thank you. Thank you so much.
It got delayed 3 hours.
Now, Vasudev is a little shy. All of you know Vasudev? Not Lord Vasudev.
He flipped the camera.
Yesterday was Vasudev's 13th birthday, and temple also 13 years. So,
And Independence Day.
Vasudev is taking initiative by himself, actually. You can see all the technology he's arranging behind the scene. All the posts you see, so saying everything not me. Please. Any corrections, please reach out to him. So we'll be happy to please bless him, so that he can grow into a wonderful devotee. So we will be chanting Hare Krishna for him. Vasudeva, ready?
Are you ready?
You can go.
Are you ready?
Mother and son. And as they are getting ready, Janmashtami is on September 4th, which is Friday. We need a lot of hands, also a lot of mouths who can share this knowledge. So we need an instrument of spreading Lord Krishna's language is coming out. Hare Krishna. And your daughter. Where? It's her birthday also, so we can also be cutting the cake. It's very hard to cut the cake, I know.
You want to go?
Should I start?
You go to this side.
Should I start? Krishna Hare Krishna Hare Vasudev, announcements, please.
Everyone can come for the flowers.
Happy birthday, Vasudev. Thank you so much for
You got this. I don't know where to put it.
Just like turn it on.